Welcome back. So let's see how to make sure if something is enabled or disabled. Okay. So first let's select round trip. By default you will be seeing like this, right? So I'll go this flow, I'll do it in updated drop down test again. Okay. So this will select checkboxes first. Thereafter it's time to select drop down. Okay, by dot what round trip, select this, and there are many options here. It's up to you to select one. Let's go with name RBT, and hopefully this is unique, or you can use ID. It's better to go with ID, right? Byte ID. So by doing this, first you will select round trip option. Once you select this will get enabled. So in Selenium, there is a method which will actually tell you if it is enabled or not, but somehow that method is too inconsistent with current HTML and current browser technology, and it's not working as expected. Okay, so there is a workaround to know how it is enabled or disabled instead of using Selenium method. So first I'm going to explain what is that Selenium method and why it is not working and what is the workaround for it. Okay, now we want to only see if it is return date, right? If this gets enabled or disabled. So select this whole edit box and you see that this is getting highlighted, this input, and when you go up, this div ID is complete div section for that calendar. Okay, so you can either take this or this, it's up to you because both are getting highlighted. Now this is name attribute, right? So driver dot find element by dot name, which will highlight this edit box, and here you have something called dot is enabled or disabled. Okay, if it is enabled, it returns true, just like is selected. If it is disabled, it will return false. But in this case, it works for few websites, but it's not working for few websites too. So let me print this and see what is the problem we have. I'm not sure if it is working now, but when I tried a few weeks ago to explain one batch, I got surprised to see this is enabled method is not helping us to see if it is enabled or not. If it is enabled, it should return true. So before clicking on that radio button, this will be false, isn't it? By default, you will land on page like this. Okay, so it's disabled. So when I try to see if it is enabled or not, it should return false. Thereafter, I am clicking on this round trip radio button. After I click, this is enabled, and now here we have to see if this same step which I give again here should return me true, because this time it's enabled. Let's run this test very quick and see how it goes. So do not worry even if it doesn't work, because we have many alternates in Selenium to make something working. Okay, it selected round trip radio button, and we are doing some this drop down work which we have seen in our earlier lecture. Let's come back and you see that there is no false here, all are true. So before selecting radio button also with one way, it says that it is enabled. Okay, but it's not. How does it look to you? That's disabled mode, right? So how to handle this if you are not able to perform this? And I can also tell you reason why Selenium is failing to tell is enabled or not. So when something is disabled, when you try to click on that, that should not work. Okay, but in this latest websites, in the current technology, though it looks like disabled from UI perspective, but when you click on that, that's getting enabled. Okay, so that is why Selenium is confusing. As per Selenium thoughts, when something is disabled, even if you click on that, you should do nothing should happen if it is disabled. And that's how these guys designed it, is enabled or disabled. But problem is, in current technology, these guys have made UI to look that's disabled, but go and click on that, it's still working. So that's why this is failing. Then what is alternate then? How do you know that if it's at least disabled with that UI? Okay, so from development perspective, understand one thing. When something got disabled or some color got changed, developer has to set some attribute, okay, to that HTML to make it look like disabled. First, we need to understand what is the attribute which is getting changed in HTML when something is getting disabled. And we will pull that attribute using getAttribute method and see the name of that attribute, how it is before disabled and after disabled. It should change, right, based upon your disable or enable. Okay, let me explain you in practical to understand this. Okay, this is div id and this is inside edit box. Anything will help us to select. Now take a screenshot of this page. Currently it is enabled. Okay, take a screenshot. Now I'll click on one way and watch carefully that one of the attribute value will get changed here. Okay, watch it, watch this HTML. I'm going to select one way. What happened? What attribute got changed here? Concentrate on this style attribute. I will again select, right now it is disabled. I will again select round trip to make it enable. Just concentrate on this style attribute. You see that the value of opacity is changing from 0.5 to 1. Let me disable it again. Okay, and enable. Right, so this attribute is changing on enable or disable, and we will put this attribute as a checkpoint to decide if script is enabled or not. Now when I select round trip, this should be 1, right? So what I will do, driver dot, instead of using is enabled or not, I'll just comment out this. Find element by dot, what's that ID to reach this point? Div1, right? Div1 dot get the attribute. I am going to pull this get attribute, which is nothing but style. Okay, now dot contains, now I'll put some if condition, if of, right? So basically I am grabbing the style attribute after I clicking on radio button, and I am checking if it contains, this will print a whole display block opacity 1. Okay, so let me first print it so that you will know what it is printing, and then I can put the logic. Okay, so in this way you will understand better of what's happening. Okay, so let me comment this code for now. I'll run this code again and see how this attribute is printing before clicking on radio button and after clicking on radio button. Okay, so this is how you have to focus when something is enabling or disabling. If you are asked to validate it, and look at for attribute which is getting changed on these actions, and pull that attribute using getAttribute method, and then you put your validation. That's how things work. Okay, now see your output. Before clicking it's 0.5. After clicking it is 1. Cool. And now it's easy for you to tell if it is enabled or disabled. So what I will do now, I will put if condition. After clicking on this radio button, 1 should display, right? This whole string. In this whole string, if it contains 1, okay, contains is in Java method where it will scan entire string and it will check if the character what you provided is present inside this or not. Our concept here is to check for 1 because this is only the variable part. If it is enabled, it will be 1. And then you can simply say, so it's enabled. Or if you want to put assertion, you can say, I'm sorry. How do you put assertion? Saying that's pass. Assert dot assert true. Just pass true, that's it. Okay, basically earlier we passed some condition which can return true, but once it went inside this block, that means success, right? 1 matched, so directly put true so that it will pass. And you can put else and say if it does not contain 1 even after clicking on radio button, fail it. How do you fail it? You can simply fail by writing false inside this, because assert true always expects true to be its argument, but you are making it false, so obviously test will fail in 37 line. But why are you writing this failed step? This Selenium script will come only to this else block once this condition is not met. Okay, why, in what time this condition will not meet? After clicking radio button also, you are not seeing radio button as enabled because it's still 0.5, which is in disabled mode, which is wrong. That's why if condition is not satisfied, the control will come to else. Once it comes to else, you know that something went wrong here. So you want to fail that test deliberately. That's the reason you forcefully passing this false attribute into assert true to fail the script. Okay, but once this condition matches, then it's enabled, it will go inside it and you will say, hey, test is good. With assert true of true, please continue. Okay, that's all you have. So for example, let me put 0.5 here. Even after selecting the radio button, it will be enabled, but still I am verifying if it have 0.5, which have disabled attribute. So it should go to else block and it should fail. Test should fail at line number 37. Okay, let's see that. So I hope you are very clear on how to put validation on attribute level to see if the element state is changing or not. Okay. You see that? Test failed. Expected true but found false. That's what I mean. And it failed at line number 37. You see that? Because it did not meet in the condition. So that's how you can actually play around this. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was in Visual Studio. Let me come back. So this is something related to Protractor. I hope you guys heard about Protractor as well, right? Which is an Angular automation tool. This is getting more popular in current days, and every recruiter is expecting Protractor knowledge as well along with Selenium. But if you know this Selenium, it's easy for you to learn Protractor. It's on TypeScript based. So I recommend you to start this course once you complete Selenium. There is a course for us in the portal where you can just search Protractor and our course will come on the top with Rahul Shetty. Okay, so this is your next goal once you complete Selenium. And it's getting crazy these days. Everyone asking combination of Selenium come Protractor. Okay, all right, I think we are done. So in the next lecture, let's wrap everything Okay, let me create one end-to-end test where we will enter all the things what we have learned till now. We will enter the information in drop down, select a calendar, select a passenger, select some check boxes, and then finally we'll click on search button so that we are done. So we already done all this, but let me put in one end-to-end test fashion in our next lecture, and then we proceed that. With this, I'm going to wrap this entire section. I hope you have learned many topics in this section. So let's give a final touch up in our next lecture. Thank you.